Hello and welcome to Cutting the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben. As always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
This week we enter the world of high strangeness. We're going to talk about Mel's hole. Not his butthole.
Oh.
I don't know Mel personally. Pete, you seem to know him quite well.
I was thinking of Melanie Sykes.
I was thinking Melanie, it could be her hole.
Oh,
That's the hole I was going for.
you aim high, bud. Well, aim middle-ish.
Probably still quite high. She's quite tall.
Ah.
Lass, isn't she?
No, true. God, I haven't seen her in ages.
I know. I bet she's still hot mind.
Probably. We digress. So let's thank some new return listeners and we'll get into it. Where shall I start? Edinburgh in the UK, Paradise in Canada. I bet it's a shit.
I was going to say, I bet that's a misleading name, isn't it?
Dubai.
That's a shithole, yeah.
Is it UAE Dubai?
Yes.
Yeah. Amsterdam, Manchester in the UK, Stockholm in Sweden, Johannesburg
Sweden.
in South Africa.
What the fuck was that?
South Africa.
It's alright.
That wasn't bad.
The second one was a little bit better.
I don't know where the next one is. Samarkand. Where's that?
Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
Fuck
Fucking
off.
hell.
You knew that?
I know that because on the other side it's got Uzbekistan flag.
Smart
You
ass.
cheating
I didn't
bastard.
know that one.
Yeah. Brussels in Belgium, Guadalajara, Spain, Council Bluffs in the US. Don't know where that is in America. And Ashburn, I know that's in Virginia. Thanks very much for listening. Tell a friend, tell several friends, tell members of your local swinging community. They seem to know a lot of people. Swingers, no swingers.
I can't find any swingers.
They're in the wrong groups.
Well, the Facebook ones are closed down. Shit.
Well, that's all underground now, Claire.
It's all underground. I've got to go to the dark web just to get swinging.
I remember all those years ago you wanted to pretend to be a couple to go swinging.
Yeah.
That's we were both single. We should actually just be a couple and just go swinging. Just pretend to be a couple.
No, I've got to see your cock.
But yeah, follow us on Facebook at Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. YouTube is Cutting Through the Bull, and SoundCloud and Spotify and all your other podcasting platforms is Cutting Through the Bull in the PTA. Right, let's get on to Mel's Hole. The magical bottomless pit said to be hiding somewhere in Washington State. This is from one of my favourite radio stations, Coast to Coast, as well.
This is where, right, when I started reading the article, it just lost me instantly almost, because I was like, somewhere, apparently, there's this hole, but nobody's found it.
No one knows where it is.
That's what I mean. It's just
But if
like,
you'd have read the article further, you'd have found out why no one knows
I know,
where it is.
but my point is, it's just like, I don't know,
Don't excuse your poor researching skills, Pete.
it all sounds a little bit too mythical to me.
You're a bit sceptical this one, aren't you?
100%.
You only read the first fucking paragraph, how can you be sceptical?
I didn't read just the first paragraph. I'm saying, when I started reading it, if you understand English, when I started reading it, and I first started reading it, it just made me go,
Yeah, it's only because I've already toshed his fucking poor research skills. So he's...
I've never said that I'm good at research, I don't, I've got better things to do with my time, but I do try and...
Masturbate and cry does not count as things to do better to do with your time.
Why not?
Well,
Healing wounds.
I find tears make a great lubricant.
Yes.
Yep.
your own tears, or... As long as it's your own.
Depends on the day of the week, to be fair.
Well, in 1997, a mysterious man named Mel Waters called in to a radio show, Coast to Coast, had a chat with Art Bell and claimed to have discovered a bottomless pit with the ability to resurrect animals from the dead.
So you just chuck an animal in there and then it comes flying out. Alive.
No,
No.
Sounds like it's a bit like a Stephen King novel, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, just a bit.
it does, because everything comes back changed. So, on February 21st, 1997, Art Bell was hosting his popular late-night radio programme, Coast to Coast, The show, which had as many as 15 million nightly listeners at its peak, was known for its supernatural subjects and conspiracy theories, so most calls didn't faze Bell, and they certainly did not. He had some right crazy bastards calling into that. Oh, you ever listen to Coast and Art Bell stuff?
I have heard about the crazy. Well, generally in America, in it. To be fair, there's quite a lot of crazies out there. To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, 15 million listeners a night is massively impressive. But Art knew what made a good story as well.
Well, it's interesting, is it? All these things.
Of course. And that day, a listener who called himself Mel Waters phoned in with a wild story and sparked a decades-long search for a paranormal phenomena known as Mel's Hole. In his report, Waters claimed there was a bottomless pit on his property in Kittitas County. I think I got that right.
Kittitas, I think.
Kittitas. There's a lot of T's in it. County, Washington, that boasted a range of magical properties, including the ability to bring animals back to life. But while the caller seemed very knowledgeable about Kittitas County and was most likely a local, investigations found no record that a Mel Waters ever existed in the area.
But then again, if you are going to make call up with a crazy story like this, even if it is true, maybe you're going to give a pseudonym.
Yeah, it's true. I would.
Yeah, you don't want your friends and family, thinking you're a nutter, do you?
Well, they know in my case, but, I wouldn't want the general public, no.
Yeah.
They found that no evidence Mel Waters ever lived in the area, and no evidence the hole actually existed. But Waters continued to call into the show, reporting to Bell a total of 5 times between 1997 and 2002 to reveal increasingly bizarre stories about his hole. And then after the 5th call, Mel Waters was never heard from again.
Dum dum dum.
It's not an anagram, is it? Mel Waters for anything?
Well, I was thinking, is his name, I don't know, Lou Matters or something?
Well, either way, Pete's the only one who's won the countdown challenge so far. So Mel Waters first called into Art Bell's show to claim there was a mysterious hole of unknown depth on his property in Kittitas County, a small rural area in central Washington. As reported by KEPR-TV, Waters attempted to test the depth of the hole by tying a roll of lifesavers, I'm assuming they're like mints of some kind, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
To a fishing line, believing that if there was water at the bottom of the hole, the lifesavers would dissolve. But Waters claimed that he hadn't hit the bottom after 80,000 feet.
Bullshit.
And the lifesavers
Where'd you
remained
get
fully
fucking rope
intact.
from? Where'd you get
It was fishing continual spools of fishing wire, apparently.
That's a fucking lot,
It is,
80,000 feet. He had a lot of... He was well prepped.
Well, he probably just kept on going buying more.
Yeah, tied it to
I
something.
suppose, yeah.
What's more, Waters said the hole had a number of peculiar properties. It lacked an echo, for instance, and animals were afraid to approach it. I brought the dogs with me, Waters said. They wouldn't go anywhere near the damn thing. He also claimed a black beam had been seen emanating from the hole, according to the Seattle Times. Portable radios held near it would play programs of music from years past.
Well, he's obviously tuned into classic rock FM.
No,
isn't he?
this is... You leave classic rock FM alone.
I know, I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying that he's obviously tuned into it.
No, apparently he had the radio on the side and he was like trying to get a signal. And then he heard a baseball game and he was like, oh, sweet, I'll listen to that. The problem is the game was played in the 30s.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
But, could have just been a rerun.
I don't know how many people listen to 1930s baseball games on the radio.
Probably quite a lot of people.
Not in 1997. I mean, something that many people going to be alive at that point. I might remember the game, isn't it?
Well, maybe it was an anniversary of a...
That's what
Maybe, maybe.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I'm thinking time travelling hole
A time travelling hole.
or like a distortion.
How many
in
times?
the rift.
How many times you turn on telly and seen like an old classic football match or something? So it's not unheard of,
No,
that
it's
is
not.
it?
You
To
just-
replay a classic game. Of
You
some
think it's
sort.
a rift in the space-time continuum?
Yeah. You only watch them old games to check out their shorts and hairstyles, and it's like, fucking hell, look what they used to look like. And then you turn back over.
Metals held close to the opening would transform into other substances.
Oh, fuck off.
What kind of substances?
Goo.
It doesn't say.
I never found that one out.
It's
Just substances.
So many holes in this story. But there is though, literally there is in both ways, yes, but yeah.
Thing is, people used to throw fucking everything into this hole. It was like the town's trash hole. You know, washing machines, fridges, everything, and it just never seemed to fill up. At one point, Waters said his neighbour threw his dead dog into the hole, which I think is pretty fucking sad, to be honest. Just bury your fucking dog, mate.
Bury it in your garden.
Don't throw it down fucking Mel's hole. Only for it to be later seen alive and well, and yes...
Well, each bought another one.
No, it was seen in the woods wearing the same collar, but it never responded to the owner. It came back changed in some way.
It was like, yeah, fuck you, you took me down a hole.
That could have a
I'm
lot to do
still
with it.
alive, you bastard!
I was only kidding.
I was asleep.
Now, eventually, Waters claimed the US government had taken an interest in the hole. According to an archived summary of Mel Waters' cause, he claimed that government representatives had forced him off his land after he went public with his story and paying him $250,000 a month to lease the property. $250,000 a month in 1997? My God, probably a couple of million by now.
I was going to say, you could put that, it would get you as much as $1 million would a month now, wouldn't it? Let's face it. Either way, that ain't to be, that's not, you don't shake a fucking stick at $250,000 a month, do you?
No. Fuck no. Especially when Uncle Sam's paying it. No. Mel Waters called into Bell's show once more in 1997, once in 2000 and twice in 2002. And while he was seen as credible in the beginning due to his well-spoken and cautious nature, his stories became increasingly outlandish. Waters claimed that once he began speaking out about the hole, his wife disappeared. Well, that could be good or bad, depending on your relationship.
She probably left him because he's spouting this nonsense.
I hope he fucking... In a way, if she had a go at him, I hope he like... Alright, I don't hope he Sparta kicked her down the hole, but would you ever Sparta kick someone down the hole? Like, this is my hole! Boom! I would.
You misses.
No. No, I'm not saying your missus. That does depend on the state of your relationship. But you know, I don't know.
Potentially you would
Tax collector. Maybe a random tramp. You know, no one's going to miss a hobo. Oh, come on, have a look at this. Oh, look at this. And then just, boom. You know, come on, you wouldn't be tempted.
Tramps are people as well, you know.
Yeah, but it's a fucking bottomless hole.
I'd have sent down a...
I want to see. I want to.
Drone.
Yeah.
Or even a camera on a string.
1997.
Yeah.
Easy in them
Easy.
days. Camera on a
97.
string.
Cameras were pretty fucking big in 1997. Video cameras, weren't they?
Yeah,
They
they were
already
putting washing machines down this thing, weren't they?
Yeah, that's people drifted, like, pulling up in a truck and like lifting the washing machine up and chucking it down.
You still had optical cameras and that in '97.
You've had very expensive, like the sharp video cam kind of shit going
Look,
on.
I mean,
If this is $250,000 a month.
If this was
Well,
what it was,
you've got a point there.
if this was what it was, surely it was worth somebody spending a few quid on some kind of little camera system to go have a look.
Oh, but he's not getting the £250,000 a month to live there. He's getting the £250,000 a month to fuck off.
And not say anything about it.
Yeah.
He didn't do a very good job at that,
No.
did he?
He then went to visit a Basque settlement in Navarra. You know the Basques, Spanish people who've got a chip on their shoulder about being part of Spain.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, in Spain you've got this indigenous group called the Basques, and
They want to be separate from Spain.
they don't want to be in Spain. They're in northern Spain, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was a bit of a Basque terrorism thing a few years ago in Spain,
There was, yeah.
where these kind of like shot policemen and attempted to blow things up.
Is that
Blow
the,
up
like,
MPs' cars
Catalonia
and
and that lot?
No, that's different. That's
That's
Barcelona. That is.
Yeah, it's Barcelona, so
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's
Isn't
very
that-
similar, but it's at the north.
Aren't the
Ah.
Basques something to do with Barcelona?
No, I don't think so.
Alright. Okay.
Athletic Bilbao. It's the Basque. Isn't it?
Ah, right. Okay.
Real Sociedad.
Interesting. Apparently there's a Basque settlement in Nevada which he claimed to visit and encountered a similar hole with supernatural properties. Like the first one, this pit appeared to be bottomless and animals were afraid to go near it.
What are the chances of finding two?
I know,
I know,
but
innit?
this is where it gets even crazier. While experimenting on the second hole, the Basque people lowered a bucket of ice into it. Allegedly, the hole transformed the ice into a lukewarm, flammable substance that would not melt but could burn for months on end. And this dude, this Basque guy, put it in his stove thinking, well, this is just going to keep burning.
Yeah.
This is great. And the stove kind of just sunk through the floor and continued sinking.
What? Why? How?
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just because this stuff burnt so fiercely, the stove just melted through the floor. And they're not, I don't think they're living in like proper houses. I think this is a pretty remote settlement.
Yeah.
In the most shocking claim, Waters also reported that he and the Basque people had lowered a sheep into this second hole to see what might happen to a living thing that entered it. And by the time they raised the sheep back up, it had died, but now had a massive pulsing tumour. That's Chester, the show cat. He lives here, we can't shut him up.
So it was a
Used to be
pulsing tumour in something that's dead?
Yes.
Right.
And the Basque, being the sheep farmers, knew how to, cut a sheep open and have a look and dissect it, basically butcher it effectively. When they cut the tumour open, Waters claimed they revealed an 18-inch long creature that resembled a seal, but with shockingly human eyes. As Waters stared at this creature, he said it looked back at him with an expression of the deepest compassion.
Oh, God.
God. Human eyes.
I'm picturing Puss in Boots in Shrek the Third, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
Those kind of eyes, just like,
Yeah.
don't throw me back in the hole. Oh, you throw me back in the hole.
No, it's Shrek 2, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. He said that the Basque people then returned the creature to the hole. And I mean,
Why
like,
would you do that?
putting it on the edge and letting it kind of just flop in.
Come on, this could be a new species.
Yeah, I'm not buying this now.
No. You know, just chuck it back down here.
No.
Apparently, Mel had been diagnosed with like stage 4 cancer, and just being close to this creature cured him.
Cool.
Cured him completely.
Apparently. I love that word.
But it gave the sheep a tumour, but cured him.
No, it wasn't a tumour, clearly. It was a fucking pulsing fucking seal worm baby.
Kind of, I'm picturing like the xenomorph as an infant. When it bursts out of the chest and like goes, and it brings out human eyes.
But, yeah. Yeah. Redonkulous.
Well, Mel Waters made one final report to Coast in December 2002. In it, he reported the government had become aware of the second hole, that they had took away the burning ice, and that he believed he was being followed. He claimed the Basque people had informed him that the creature had visited their village a number of times since they brought it back to the hole, and tried to warn them about the dangers of the burning ice. I don't know how it tried to. I never found that one out either. Not one to try and just...
Don't touch that. Don't touch the burning
Do you
ice.
think it's like using its really expressionful eyes to like sort of nod and blink?
I just think it's all full of shit, to be honest.
So what, the creature
Well, the hole
had come back up the hole and visited the village a number of times?
Apparently so.
And tried to warn them about chucking shit on its head. Stop throwing your wheelie bins down here, they hurt, you
I thought it
bastard.
was Mel Waters was trying to warn...
No, just say the creature visited
Yeah.
their village
Well,
a
no,
number of
that's
times. I
absolute
missed it as
bullshit.
well, yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
Oh, come on. Seal creature with expressionful
How did it get up
eyes.
this big tunnel?
Magic.
Up fucking defying gravity?
It's got its little seal tail, it can fly. Flapped that hard enough and flew up the hole.
Beware the burning eyes.
Why does he sound like the squeaky voiced Dean from The Simpsons? Hey, mister!
I hate the way you talk.
And that was the last call that anyone ever heard from Mel Waters in 2002. He's
After
not,
his missus kicked him down.
maybe he got Sparta kicked down the fucking hole, who's to say?
I think he's talking out of his own myself.
And Mel Waters was not the only one who insisted upon the existence of a supernatural hole in Washington State. Gerald Osborne, a Kittitas Valley intertribal shaman who goes by the name Red Elk,
Oh, wow.
and presumably has like 2 to 5% Indian blood in him, but no thinks he's a fucking Native American. Call me Red Elk.
Oh, I want to be a shaman. Can a woman be a shaman?
I guess they
You're
can.
a Shay woman.
Doesn't sound as good.
No, it doesn't.
You could be a druid. It's kind of the same thing.
No, I like the word shaman better.
You could be a shamanic druid. They probably exist. I don't know.
Alright.
You can be whatever you want nowadays, Claire. Be a fucking fox if you want to.
She's a fox.
Alright.
Blush,
Well, you can be whatever you want nowadays. It's 2024.
yeah.
So, Red Elk claimed to have visited Mel's Hole many times since 1961 when his father first showed it to him. And according to the Daily Record, Red Elk believed the hole led to a secret underground government facility and that it was also a hub for alien activity. Get the aliens in. See, it's got everything. This is how you get a conspiracy theory to take off. You put a smorgasbord of everything in and you catch a little bit of everybody. I mean, if Bigfoot was coming out of this hole, Peter'd be fucking riveted.
You'd be on it.
He would be on it.
No.
Maybe that's where they all live.
Is this where they come from?
Yeah.
Mel's Hole?
Yeah.
Could be.
Oh, there's 2 holes, isn't there?
Well, maybe it's not 2 holes, maybe it's 1 hole. Maybe that's
One's
the
in,
exit.
one's in and one out.
Yeah. Maybe that's where it leads to. It just does a big U shape underneath US of A.
So all them people in Nevada were like, fucking hell, where all these old washing machines keep coming from?
Yeah. Well, this is
Popping washing machines out of it
well,
now and again.
this is what basically created the settlement. like a couple of people got kicked down the hole. A couple of Spanish people that nobody liked. So right, you bastards! Oh, washing machine. Oh, that'd make a good door. That would. I'll tear that bit off. Yep, sweet. Right, and then they started building
So
a
they
shanty.
could sell the scrap and...
Yeah. Started
So
building
there's a
themselves a
settlement
little
underneath?
shanty settlement.
Inside. There's a settlement inside the.
No, it's on the other end of the hole.
It could be a secret government base in the middle of the
Yeah.
middle. And aliens working with the government. Who can say? Presumably their fucking base is full of used washing machines and fridges
Yeah.
and dead animals.
Dead anything.
In 2002, Red Elk led a search expedition for the pit, and he was joined by a group of believers who met on a chat site dedicated to Mel's Hole. I bet that's fucking riveting. I bet that's a deep conversation they have.
Let's see if there's a Facebook site.
The enthusiasts believe that finding the hole might bring answers to major questions about the universe. Mel's Hole discussion board, fantastic. To quote Charlotte Lefebvre, a search coordinator of the expedition in the Seattle Times, "Every geologist in the world should be here. They need to pay attention to this." Unfortunately, the group wasn't able to find it, but there had been talk of a mysterious hole in Kittitas County long before Mel Waters first went on Bell's show. Jay Nickel, who was 34 at the time of the search, grew up in the city of Ellensburg, the largest town in Kittitas County, and he said that as a teenager, he and his friends had come across a hole that sounded a lot like Mel's. It was too deep to see the bottom, and he claimed no sound from it came when they threw rocks into it. An employee of a snowmobile dealership said the story of a hole on Manitas Ridge had become common local knowledge for decades. Lots of people talk about it, he said. Could be something out there, but I've never seen it.
How big is its hole meant to be? There's been no dimensions of it, like width-wise or anything. Like, how big
I think
is
you're
the
talking
mouth of
about
the
like
hole?
it's so at least sort of over 6 foot wide and round in it.
It's not.
Well, you
it's-
don't, well, yeah.
How
if
do
you
we
got
know
to,
this?
well, if you got to throw a fridge and a washing machine down, that's the only thing you've got, isn't it?
That's all.
You
It
think
said,
you would have
yeah.
taken measurements though, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
it
you
could
would.
be anything from 4 foot wide to 50 foot
Yeah,
wide.
it could be.
I
Probably a
don't understand-
sinkhole.
Yeah, I don't understand why Mel wasn't like, this is where I live. Here's my postcode or
Well, in
whatever.
1997, everyone had a fucking camera in them days. Why is there no fucking camera? Why is there no pictures of it? And if he's not the only person that knew about it, because everyone used, because he's not chucking all these fucking fridges and freezers down it himself.
No.
Other people were.
Yeah.
So it's just all bullshit.
Taken by the government, Pete.
What, they fucking dug up a endless pit?
No, they took all the cameras. They confiscated the pictures that Mel had.
What about all the other folk that have chucked down their washing machines and that? More than one person knows about this whole
Yeah, but at the same time, they might just be thinking, that's a deep hole. You'll throw some shit in that.
Why do you have to just throw shit in holes all the time?
It's human nature.
That's how it happens to you.
Yeah.
Now, while many have tried to search Mel's Hole over the years, experts say the magical pit Mel Waters described is not only unproven, it's physically impossible. But they would say that, wouldn't they?
Mm.
It's exactly what they'd say.
Just like they said it was impossible that they killed Kennedy.
There you go. There's many a thing that have been impossible, but some came true. Jack Powell, a geologist with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources, said a hole of the depth of waters described would collapse into itself under the tremendous pressure and heat from the surrounding strata. He first heard about it on Art Bell's show, and it intrigued him. Kind of got my interest in a funny way, he said. I know new Art Bell stuff is basically Sasquatch and UFOs and the like, but it was sort of entertaining. But once he heard Waters claim that the hole was 80,000 feet deep, he knew it was a hoax. He said the hole Waters referenced was probably likely an abandoned gold mine shaft Powell used to play around as a kid. Powell said the shaft, which went into the ground at an angle, was likely around 90 feet deep and 300 feet deep at most. But it's not like a mine shaft that angles in, it's a hole in the ground. It's like a well, it's like very much like the well from 300.
But is
How
it?
do you know?
But is it?
That's what everyone described, that's what I've heard it described as.
What's one person that... Why, has there been other accounts of...
That's what Mel described it as, like a big well, and you're saying he's saying, it's probably just a mine shaft that angles in, but the descriptions are, it's not. Cover up.
He's probably spot on though with what he's saying.
Cover up.
I think we know where Ben is on this one anyway.
The shaft is on private property and it's fenced with barbed wire, and Powell said it's close to state DNR lands. Covered with barbed wire on private property owned by the government, fenced off.
Because it's a dangerous old fucking mine. They don't want kids playing down the old mine, falling down big fucking holes and dying.
Well,
Especially without Lassie about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
97, Lassie might have still been around. Might have been really old.
Might have been on Lassie 12 at that point.
Yeah, but still.
You know what I hate about them dogs, the Lassie dogs? What are they called? I can't remember the name of the breed.
Collie.
Shouties, aren't they?
It is a collie of sorts, isn't it? It's part of the collie family,
Shetland.
isn't it?
Yeah, either way. Everyone just
Shetland pony.
everyone just calls them fucking Lassie. There's no originality. You know, my auntie
The
used
guy who's got a Max as a dog.
Maximus.
Oh.
Yeah. Get it right. Address him with his full name and title. Maximus Decimus Meridius Carter. Says it on his fucking certificate. Says it at the vets.
Oh my god.
Maximus Decimus Meridius Carter.
Do you make the veterinary lady call it out when she goes, Max?
So
Maximus
full
on
name.
Full name?
Full name, please.
You dick.
He only responds to his full name.
Well, just a slight tangent, but I'm just saying, full name, please, Claire. Show him some respect.
Yes, Maximus.
I suppose this Mel Waters used the real hole as a kind of inspiration for making up his mysterious one on Manitas Ridge, Powell said. Now, the existence of Mel's Hole has never been proven to this day, and for some it's caused more headaches than curiosity. Milton Wagley, a historian with the Ellensburg Public Library, told KEPR in 2012 that after Mel Waters' first call to Art Bell's show, the library phone was ringing off the hook with stories and theories about the hole, and then the library's file on Mel's Hole went missing. Cover up.
Ooh.
Or they just binned it because it was
I was
going to
say, someone was looking through all the rubbish one day, started reading it and going, well, this is clearly bullshit. I'll throw that away.
Libraries always keep records of local myths and legends.
Yeah, but if it's
It's
only
like
a
the
myth and
point of
legend from one person...
But that's the point of a library. It's you know, it's a repository of knowledge.
But
No matter how whimsical or far-fetched it may seem, it's a local myth.
But you do need more than one person to be telling the story. If there's only this one account from this one guy, it's not going to take that much.
Alright, so should we throw out all the books in the local libraries about the Wrekin being a giant shovel of earth that he dropped in the Ark? Or
Is there books about that?
It's in the library, it's there, it's a local myth, it's a repository of knowledge.
I've
And
never
all
seen a
knowledge
book
is
about
used.
it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, how many libraries have you visited?
One. Well, in Telford, because there is only one.
I bet if you asked the librarian for information about that, they would point you to some kind of record.
Yeah, there's bound to be somebody writing about local myths.
So the librarian said, Milton Wagley, said the file just disappeared, which lends itself to the mysteriousness of Mel's Hole. Wagley said, did Mel take it? Did it just kind of rise out of the locked file cabinet? You never know, there might be a hole out there.
There might be. I'd say there's a big might involved in that bit, but...
Well...
The library boss got rid of it because it was taking up the attendance
Nobody
time.
had ever fucking read it or looked at it in its entire time it'd been there, so they thought, oh, bollocks to it, we'll get rid of it.
Well, it's myth, though, isn't it? It's local legend, it adds local character. Why
Should
would
we
you get rid of
start
it?
Should we start a local legend?
Let's do it.
Yeah, why not?
It's just 4 of us. It might
Call
take
it
even...
Ben's Hole.
It might have even more pressing. It might even have
Noxious
more
gases
pressing.
come out of it, so don't go nowhere near it.
No, you can't
That's
have a
not
hole.
a myth. It's not a myth, though, is it? Yeah.
You can't have a hole. It's not some fucking story about a
we'll have
ghost
a
in the
dike.
woods.
No, we'll have a dike. A haunted dike.
We haven't got a dike.
We'll make one.
I'm not going to dig a fucking dike on my precious 2 days off. Just have a play it simple. The ghost in the woods that kills kids.
Okay. We'll start it here now.
Yeah.
Just up the road, there's some woods, and legend has it. We've all seen it, haven't we? Though this killer ghost, we've all seen it.
So
But legend has
the
it.
ghost of a witch killed the witch
I
trials.
like the
That's it.
dike.
It
He's
does-
just not willing to put the work in.
Well, you go and dig the fucking dike then.
Go get a garden ninja on a bit of random ground. Just build your own dike.
Fuck it, we'll go with the ghost.
Alright.
I'm not spending my precious weekends damming up a small stream.
Yeah, we do have to have a pedo ghost.
I'm just saying, it's a witch in the who was killed in the witch trials, hangs around these woods, kills kids.
Yeah.
There we go, boom,
It's
story.
already been done though, hasn't it? Chrissy Anderson.
What do you suggest? I'm
I'm sure we can come
spitballing.
up with something better.
We'll have a think. We'll come back to you next week. We'll have a special on the legend of something or other. We'll get it out
The
there.
legends of Craggy Sue. So, for his part, Red Elk, the Indian shaman, still insists the hole
Of course
exists.
he does.
But he has stopped agreeing to interviews on the subject and warns that we're better off not knowing where it is. Maybe he's using his sort of Native American knowledge of the earth and nature and he knows where it is. Very spiritual, the Native Americans, aren't they? Very earthy.
They like to pretend they are, anyway.
Until they open a casino.
Yeah,
I suppose the only way to find out,
it's to find it.
yeah, is if you use LiDAR, wouldn't you? I'd find it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, why don't they? There's technology out there now.
Yeah.
If they want to find this fucking mystical hole, they'd have found it.
But that sort of LiDAR's not available to the common person trotting around,
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
It's available
Would be-
enough nowadays.
Maybe
that-
to the university there or something.
Well, they're not going to do it. They're covering it all up. They're in cahoots with the government.
Oh,
there's,
right.
there's definitely some research team out there with the ability to get a fucking LiDAR.
True, unless the government are stopping them.
Yeah, well,
Well, Red Elk says don't look for the hole.
Yeah, stay away. I have to say I've been burned by you guys, the media and all. Many times in this mouse hole. They make me out to be a liar. They say one thing and do something else, Red Elk said in 2012. The hole isn't important. Just stay away from trying to find it. The government has it. It's totally off limits. And of course, Mel Waters himself has not been heard of since his last phone call to Art Bell in 2002. Maybe the government finally got to him. Yeah, more than likely. Or maybe he simply never existed.
Or maybe
at
he
all.
fell down the hole.
Maybe he fell down the hole. Maybe that seal creature came for him one night and took him down
Dragged
the
him
hole,
down.
dragged him to hell.
Or maybe he just decides to become a recluse because he's a laughing stock.
Thing is, he never, if there was a Mel Waters,
which he probably never was his name.
he never tried to merch this. You know, I'd merch it. I went to Mel's Hole and all I got was this seal creature. T-shirts.
Well, you didn't try and merch it because it didn't exist.
Mate, people who merch in Bigfoot for fucking decades, he may not exist.
Don't upset him.
Been merging, there's ghost T-shirts, alien T-shirts, Bigfoot
I know
T-shirts.
what you mean.
None of it could be Nessie. Loch Ness makes £20 million a year off Nessie, which may or may not exist. If I had I don't know, I'd try and get some merch out of it.
There's been a lot more eyewitnesses, though. There's been a lot more eyewitness accounts to all of the above mentioned compared to Mel's Hole. There's two eyewitness accounts of Mel's Hole that we know about. One's fucking Mel Waters, or whatever his name is, and the other one is
Red Elk,
who's probably Mel Waters.
It could be.
Yeah, you know what, he could be, you're right.
What about the Spanish?
Yeah, the Basque people.
They were all fucking his other alter egos. He had fucking 12 alter egos, he did.
He's got multiple personality disorder.
That's what it is. And that's why when he was throwing things down, he thought they were coming back. It wasn't. It was just his other personality stopping him from throwing it down in the first place. And then... but he was convinced he did. No, it's still there. Oh, shit. Having an argument with himself. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe he didn't exist at all. Maybe it was a story. I mean, Art Bell jumped on it because it's entertainment.
Yeah.
And he knew a story.
Oh, yeah. Something different, isn't it?
It's high street.
Different to all the ghosts and aliens and Bigfoot. It's something...
I just think some form of evidence would have been fucking nice. If he could have had access to a fucking some kind of camera and taken a picture of it. So just for that reason, I call bullshit.
But then the government come and took all the pictures
and
his land.
Okay, but you could say that about anything now, couldn't you? Anything, literally anything. Oh, government covered it up.
Because they do. Can't trust the government. Can't trust any government. I like me a bit of high strangeness.
It's a good one.
Oh, it is on
This
on
one
the high strange list, definitely.
It is definitely.
This one jumped out at me. I like it.
I just don't believe it.
No,
there's not enough.
None
to
of
go
you
on
can
it.
sit here and honestly tell me it's not true.
I can.
Because you don't know.
All right.
You don't know for sure.
That's just
True.
like
You've
God,
got to be on the
really.
fence for this.
That's like God and everything
Yeah.
else, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't know for sure. So.
I'm 99.9% sure, though.
So have you got one buttock off the fence?
I've got one pube on
I was
it.
going to say one butt hair off the fence.
Yeah. Because, like you say, lack of evidence. It's
Complete lack of evidence.
Yeah, it's just a story, isn't it? Let's face it. That's
Yeah.
good
Get
story.
all
It's a
pictures
good
of Mel's
story.
Hole,
Because
I do.
with most, I'd say most myths, like modern myths and things like that, there is some form of picture evidence. And I'm going back to like the 40s, the 50s, things like that with Battle LA and things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some form of picture evidence.
That's one hell of a picture as well.
Yes. But, so for that, to be these two fucking spots within the past 25 years, there's no fucking excuse for not some form of picture evidence, if nothing else.
Unless the government took it all away.
I know. But again, you could say that about anything, because if that was the case, if the government were going to take everything away, how is there pictures of anything? Do you know what I mean?
They only
Because
let
there
us
is
see what they
pictures
want
of-
us to see.
Because there is pictures of Ness, there's pictures of ghosts, there's pictures of fucking Bigfoots, there's pictures of all sorts of things. So why haven't the government taken all that away?
Alleged pictures.
And that's the thing as well, even if there was pictures of this whole, we'd be then arguing whether it was real or not anyway.
Valid point.
Is that a real picture? Is it a fucking doctored picture? Is
That's
it just
true.
a picture of an old mine shaft that's just dark and big?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
only 70 foot deep, but it's deep enough for it to be dark.
I mean, obviously, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Obviously. Oh, right. Fair enough.
You know, I do think that I love it. I love the fact that that could exist. That maybe it does.
It's a nice thought, isn't it, almost?
I like to think that there's shit in this world that we'll never understand. There's some natural phenomena that we don't know what it is. We'll never understand it, and the government's
haven't
like,
really discovered
"Oh,
it."
you're not having that." You know, that's just my thoughts on where I am. Claire, you just gone with bullshit.
Yeah.
Alright
Throwing
then.
bullshit on it, that's it.
Well, that's Mel's hole.
Just some fucked up facts.
We can
Yeah.
indeed.
Can I have a theme tune, please?
Facts, fucked up facts,
Facts.
Alright, Mike, hit us with some fucked up knowledge.
Does anyone know what day is most likely to rain on?
Saturday.
Correct.
Saturday, and the reason for that is because of industry.
Yep.
Because industry generally only works Monday to Friday,
Yep.
and all the pollution that it kicks out, once it stops, it allows the rain to fall.
Seeds of clouds, yeah.
Fucking
Well
hell.
done,
Genius, mate. People underestimate my genius.
yeah.
I'm not saying nothing.
Me either.
It always is underestimated. Fountain of fucking knowledge, me.
British dung
Trickle.
beetles.
Go on.
I didn't even know we had dung beetles in this country.
No, mate.
So that's something new I've learnt.
They're not the same as
Are
the
they
ones
not?
you get in Saudi and those
Africa.
African countries.
Yeah.
They're not like that. They are. They're still a lot smaller,
Right.
but they are essentially dung beetles. They do the same job.
Right. Well, apparently they're estimated to be worth £40 million a year to the cattle industry,
But
cleaning up cow dungs.
Fair play.
useful little monkeys, aren't they? Eh?
Mm.
Beatles, Pete.
Right, Pete, do you know anything about sea slugs?
A little bit.
Some sea slugs can cut their own heads off and regrow a new body complete with organs within 2 weeks.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I convinced my brother that sea slugs were big shark poos, and he didn't get in the water for a little while afterwards. I'm not surprised, because these fucking sea slugs are they're quite big, like the size of a good sized cucumber.
Mm.
But you see,
You're talking about sea cucumbers, not sea slugs.
same thing.
No, they're not. Nudibranchs are different from sea cucumbers.
Aren't they the same kind of thing?
I have no idea.
Right, let's see if you can get a bit of American criminal slang of the 1850s.
Go on then.
What's a bread box?
A bread box, a
Your
mouth,
fanny.
A safe.
No,
a mouth.
no.
No.
Stomach.
Ah, okay.
What about a knowledge box?
Your
Yeah.
head.
Right.
Yeah, that's easy. An eternity box.
Coffin.
Yeah.
Bread box. Fanny.
Right.
I've got a
Yours
crusty loaf.
yours a bit fucking yeasty,
That
is
would
it?
be a
love?
yeast box.
Yeah, a bit yeasty.
Yeast box.
Your Marmite box.
Got a problem down there if it's a bit yeasty, love.
Oh, good, thank you.
Now we all know Earth's inner core is made of iron,
Right.
but apparently it's squishy like a rubber ball. Guess it's the
How the
Heat and
fuck
pressure.
would anybody know that? Someone been down there and give it a quick squish? Don't think so.
You never hugged the Earth's core.
what they do is they do it in the lab, wouldn't they? A miniature version, the iron, put it under the same pressure, see what happens to it. I guess that's how they would do it.
Maybe.
I don't think you're going to be able to replicate them pressures. are you?
No,
Surely.
it does sound more like a hypothesis than a fact.
Some theoretical science again.
Some female frogs play dead to avoid mating with male frogs. Have you ever tried that?
Some
Yeah.
women do say, I know a few women that do that, to be fair. I was going to make a terrible joke, but I won't.
Didn't stop you.
What was a terrible joke for?
No.
You like terrible. Is it about croaking it?
Just about the amount of rehypnol I used first.
They croaked it.
Does anyone know when dunce caps were invented?
1920s.
13th century Scotland
Wow.
by John Dunce.
Oh, imagine that.
And they were originally worn by intelligent people to funnel clever thoughts through the point of the hat.
Okay.
Ironically, it's a bit of a dunce thing to think, isn't it?
I
Really?
would
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
that a dunce cap isn't very well known of nowadays.
Do you not think?
No.
I suppose not. I mean,
since like the 90s, you've probably not really seen a dunce cap being mentioned.
They used to crop up in cartoons now and again, didn't they? But
That was pretty much it.
that was kind of it, yeah.
We can consider
You were
child
naughty-
abuse now.
You were
wouldn't it?
naughty, sit in
Yeah.
the corner with a dunce cap on. But yeah, you wouldn't get away with it now, would
I
you?
don't think they didn't have it at our school either.
No.
Maybe my mum's, you know, that
I
generation.
don't know. Probably wasn't even then. It was more of a
So
more
I
of
went
a myth, almost.
So I went 1920s thinking they'd have probably done something like that.
Mm,
It was like an old idle threat, I guess, wasn't it?
mm.
That used to happen, but not so much.
Mm.
It phased out, wasn't it?
Has anyone eaten Virgin Boy eggs?
I don't even know what they are.
They're hen's eggs that are boiled in the urine of young boys.
Yeah.
No, I haven't, to be fair.
Why the fuck? Why the?
No
Why
idea.
the-
That needs to be a I'm a celebrity, get me out of here challenge.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like a fucking pedo fucking thing. Like,
Pedo eggs.
Like, eat myself some pedo eggs. Yes, it's been marinated in the juices of young boys. Yes. Fucking gross.
The urine, not the.
Doesn't matter though.
Ejaculate.
It's still fucking young boy juice one way or another, isn't it?
There was always a thing about urine having properties, though. I mean, like when they used to, back in the fucking, we're talking like very, very early before Christ times, they used to quench swords in urine, and like the sword. One myth was that the blood of a red-headed child was like produced the best sword. So not the blood, the urine of a red-headed child produced the best swords. If you quenched it in that, then it wouldn't break. Weird shit about urine, isn't there?
Imagine the smell.
You're next to a tanner's, mate.
Like the nice fucking
The steam that
the
go off it.
steaming piss, like instantly. Oh, that'd be horrible.
There's shit in the streets. You live next door to a tanner. Who cares?
Yeah.
I once put me toasty maker on once. Make some toast. You know, you just put it on before it takes a while to heat up.
Where's this going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
And I could just smell piss. I was like, what the fuck? The cat had
Oh,
pissed in the toasty
God.
maker.
Oh.
And I'd been boiling piss. You could just-
Why would the cat piss in a toaster?
Well,
Because they're bastards.
yeah, there's
It's
St.
like,
Mark
I'm
in
gonna
as
have this.
well. There's St. Mark. He's pissed in a microwave before. Left the door
Fucker.
open. He's pissed in the
Mate,
microwave.
it wouldn't have been my cat any longer. It'd have been out the fucking window. 3rd floor or not. Can cats fly? We're gonna find out.
Yeah, well, I threw the fucking toaster maker away, I can tell you.
I bet you did.
That went out the window and then the pikers picked it up.
Has anyone ever heard of the photographer Danielle Lesnow?
No.
She created a body of work using a pinhole camera inserted in a vagina.
Oh, I want to see some of her work though.
The
Should be
body of
ju-
work.
Well, you just see like
You see
a
the floor.
penis.
Oh, I want to see
The floor or
Well,
cocks.
the before of them going in, like.
Mm.
I was joking anyway.
God, they'll fucking put anything in a gallery nowadays, don't they?
It is
Yeah.
ridiculous, isn't it?
I love this. Australian psychologist William Nutra could tell from a man's way of holding a cigarette if he was, quote, likely to have hobbies, took great pains with trifles, or was bored by trivia.
You can tell all that.
Yeah.
By the way, man held a cigarette.
Wow.
Oh dear.
God, he had too much time on his hands, didn't he? I say, you, holding your cigarette between your index and thumb, do you like trifles?
You have pains with trifles.
Yes, I do. I've been struggling to get my trifle to rise for many a year now. I
You get
fucking
some
know it.
rise.
Well, I don't know what you do with
That's
trifles.
the problem, isn't it? You're cooking it.
Yeah.
Fucking
You
hell.
I don't know what the fuck you do with a trifle.
You don't cook it.
Why not jelly and custard and cream?
Or whatever.
Put it in the fridge, didn't you? Innit?
Yeah.
It sinks then.
Set.
Has your trifle been sinking?
I don't think he. I get the feeling he didn't mean the pudding trifle. I'm guessing that probably means something else completely what he was saying, but in that kind of old timey, posh fucking bullshit talk, we don't know what it means nowadays. like to trifle would be to mess around, wouldn't it? To mess with something. So maybe it's something along those lines as opposed to the pudding.
Yeah, he's having trouble with his affairs.
Yeah, but either way, weirdo. But do you know what though? There's people would judge you back in the day on how you held your cigarette. So if you held your cigarette in a certain way, you'd be, oh, you're gay, the way you're smoking that, or like you have to hold it a certain way if you want to look hard. Yeah, if you held it with the tips and kind of.
You held it in your fingertips,
Yeah,
and then
tip of your
sort
index
of
finger and your middle finger, and just I don't know, pressed it towards your lips like. Oh, hello, sailor. Like I don't know.
You're smoking like Oscar Wilde then.
Basically, yes. Or if you
Alright,
wanted to be
you
macho,
get
you'd
macho.
like you curl your one finger over it and
Yeah.
just like hold it like you've clenched fist through the fucking eye of your index finger, kind of
It's
thing.
always there to stab someone's eye out.
Precisely, ready just to punch with the end of your fag. I don't know.
Then you got the forefinger and thumb combo.
The hiding it.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to know I've got a cigarette in my hand.
Yeah.
Where's that smoke coming from? So yeah, I guess there could be some psychology in the way some people hold cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that are trying to hide it, it's usually a joint, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Or you're at school.
While Thomas Jefferson was president, he refused expensive gifts of wine and jewellery, but did accept rare sheep.
I bet he did.
That's worrying,
Was
isn't
it
it?
Jefferson who was the
also-
one that jawed everybody?
Isn't Jefferson the one who invented Velcro?
I'm sure Thomas Jefferson was the one that fucking jawed everybody. I won so many jewels.
What, a pistol jewel?
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah. Should bring that back.
Apparently, if you mix lunar or Martian dust with protein from human blood, you will get a material that could be used to build houses on the moon or Mars and is stronger than concrete.
Why the fuck is human
blood.
blood being spilt into lunar and Martian soil to figure? And who thought? Oh, I know. I'm gonna stick some blood in that.
If you add urine, you can make it even stronger.
No,
Yes,
see,
there we go.
It's
You're
always
again.
the piss. It always goes back to the piss.
do you have to have the blood as well?
Yeah.
So you just want lots of people with UTIs then?
Mm.
Like,
See, it's
start
kids-
collecting
it's
UTI
kids' one.
piss.
Even
Yeah.
even stronger pedo houses.
No, 'cause it has to have blood within it.
No, the piss. Is that the piss?
Yeah,
as
but
well?
it still needs the blood to activate it. So instead of having to slaughter people for the blood and then make people piss, just get people with UTIs.
Man, does that mean we've got to ship up a load of people who are sentenced to death to like kill them in the lunar soil and then use that? It seems like a lot of effort.
Does anyone know what percent of Americans own notebooks?
For about 80%.
40.
It's 15 actually.
I was
1
thinking
5.
40.
Yeah. 20% own fewer than 10. That's still worrying though, isn't it? 15%.
I wonder
own
how
not
many
a
of
single
those
book.
are classing a comic as a book.
It's a comic book.
Do they have Kindle? Perhaps they just don't own a physical book.
I don't know.
Yeah, you still own a book if you own it on your Kindle.
Yeah.
You can still
I-
say I've got a book.
Okay, yeah.
Kindles are the fucking devil.
Like a good book.
Why
though.
is that?
Because I'm old-fashioned. I still buy books.
Books are
Feed of
nice.
the pages.
I like the feel of
Smell.
the page. I like the smell of a new
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
I like the
Smell of
feeling
an
of
old
it.
book.
Yeah, I like the feeling of it in my hand. I like that substantial. I own this now. This is mine. A Kindle can go wrong. A Kindle can break. I mean, if I had a Kindle, it'd break because
If you
Like-
spurt over it, yeah,
like-
don't like
I get
liquids.
porn on Kindles.
I don't
can
read
you?
myself off, Pete.
You can do though.
You could do. If I was reading.
There's a lot of naughty books.
Bet
in
the old
there.
There
50
is.
Shades or whatever.
Oh no, that's a terrible book.
I've not read it, so I
He
wouldn't know.
read it. He's
Give it a go.
I
did
read
you?
part of it, and it was awful.
Yeah.
Quite
didn't
frankly.
break his Kindle.
No, because what happens is I have to read before I sleep. Right? I can't sleep unless I read. No matter how drunk I am, whatever. Even if I read a fucking 4 or 5 sentences and go, right, that's enough. Book goes on the side again. I have to do it. I don't know why. And if I'm sober and I'm reading away, when I start to get tired, the book usually hits me in the face, or I drop the book on the floor as I'm falling asleep.
And the thud mate.
No, I sleep through that sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck was that book I had last night? And it's on the floor next to the bed. Once I woke up with one underneath my spine. I don't know how it got there. I like to own a book. I'd break a Kindle, and I don't like electronic books. I'm old-fashioned in that respect.
The reason you'd break a Kindle is you're not supposed to close it. It's not one of these fucking flip phones.
If I ever won the lottery, I would have one of them libraries that has like a wheeled ladder.
Oh, yeah.
You go along. That'd be like one room would just be full of books, and I'd have a wheeled ladder. Like you scoot myself along.
Would there be a porn section though?
Of course there'd be a porn section. Gotta preserve all knowledge, Pete.
Boobies through the years.
Yeah.
Muffs.
That's
through
it.
the
How
years.
the muffs have changed over the generations.
Yes, I'm looking for a book on the 1920s female genitalia hair arrangements. If you have anything on,
if you want a big muff, it's the 80s.
Do you have anything on Merkins, sir? It's my long-held dream to research female pubic hair and release a book.
Do you want the Victorian ones or the revival in the 90s?
Right, one last fact.
One last one.
In the 1920s, it was popular among older men in Vienna to get steinacked.
Is that some kind of drunkenness?
No, it's a it's a medical operation.
Circumcision?
Close. It's a partial vasectomy
Right.
performed by Dr. Steinack, who claimed his patients were shaving twice a day. Right.
Okay.
Shaving what? The face?
The face.
Yeah.
Obviously more fertile, I guess. Lifting 220 pounds and indulging in such youthful follies as buying land in Florida.
So if you have a partial vasectomy, your beard growth will accelerate.
Yeah, you could do that.
Nah, I don't want to risk anyone.
Lift 220 pounds?
My record for bench press is 140 kilograms. I'm guessing that's probably not far off.
I don't know.
I don't know how many pounds 140 kilograms is.
That's about 270 pounds.
Well, if I had a foot on my shoulder, who knows?
Well, you never bought land in Florida.
No, not as yet. Well, youthful follies, I mean, that can be anything. I mean, I haven't got to buy land in Florida.
No. It's an odd... Is that really a youthful folly? That's like an old person to go to Florida, don't they?
They do now. I mean, back then in the 1920s, I mean, Florida's really just fucking swamp.
Yeah, that's a point, yeah.
There'd be land in Florida, but it'd be really cheap because it's just a swamp and alligators.
It will cost you a tooth.
Yeah.
The hillbilly owner's like,
Yeah.
I'll give you all this land if you just give me your nice tooth. It can fit right where mine is.
Maybe.
I watched that Boudica last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she lost
The
some
Queen
of
Boudica.
it. Yeah, she lost a few of her teeth, and then someone else went and dug some out, some half dead person, and then she rammed them in her teeth,
That's
in
what
her
they used to do.
sockets.
That's what they used
Interesting. Did they put a scythed wheeled chariot in that film?
I didn't notice.
Well, you would, so presumably they didn't.
No.
Yeah, she had, in the mythology anyway, she had a chariot that had these big fucking scythes coming out the wheels.
Right.
So obviously you just go along, cutting people's legs off and shit.
Fucking hell.
She didn't have that in the
do.
film.
What do they call them?
Didn't know it.
There's a name of.
So I think it's just scythes,
No.
scythe wheels.
They have a name, don't they, when you put it on those fucking.
Like spurs.
Chariots.
Yeah. I can't think what the bloody name is now.
I don't know. Either way, they didn't have
Yeah,
that in
it's
it.
worth a watch.
She's even got them on her statue in London. Yeah. Don't know how historically accurate it is, but they're not going to throw that in, and I'm disappointed.
I went to the toilet at one point. Towards the end.
I think she'd have had it before then. Ah well, I might watch it.
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
Well, and on that note, let's end the show. I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Don't drink the flavour rave. Don't join a cult.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
I've been fair, keep an open mind, but not
everybody. Have a nice week. Take care. Bye.